In Brussels, they're dreaming of a busy Christmas. Shops reopened in Belgium on Tuesday despite a recent rise in COVID-19 cases, but bars and restaurants have to stay closed. Shopkeepers here in Belgium are hoping to make the most of the reopening. But with daily COVID-19 infections rising and the reproduction rate at almost 1, the government's not ruling out bringing in new restrictions at the end of this week. Over the border in the Netherlands, they've gone into a 5-week lockdown, closing all non-essential shops as well as schools. Prime Minister Mark Rutte insists that rising infection rates make it essential to, in his words, bite through this very sour apple before things get better.
It's totally understandable. The numbers are skyrocketing. If this wasn't done, the consequences cannot be neglected.
A lockdown is not really the solution, but stricter enforcement like compulsory face masks using the coronavirus app and at shopping malls your temperature should be checked.
But there's new hope, the prospect of mass vaccinations across Europe. After pressure from the German government, the European Union's regulatory body is set to approve the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine next Monday. Ursula von der Leyen, President of the European Commission, tweeted, "I welcome the EMA bringing forward its meeting to discuss the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine before Christmas. Likely that the first Europeans will be vaccinated before the end of 2020. Germany hopes to vaccinate up to 4 million citizens by the end of the year, but with hundreds still dying from the coronavirus every day, it's bringing in a national lockdown on Wednesday. In France, they've lifted a lockdown, but they're bringing in a nighttime curfew and bars and restaurants remain closed. Tuesday saw members of the cultural industries protest, angry that places like museums and theatres are not allowed to open.
The huge numbers of cinemas and theatres that will close is catastrophic. Paris will no longer be the cultural city it was before the lockdown.
You can't say one sector is essential and another is not. There's no evidence of clusters in theatres and cinemas.
Now the government's advising people to quarantine before meeting up at Christmas.
The Scientific Council is saying, and I view that as reasonable, if you can, self-confine for 8 days before Christmas. If you can, it's not possible for everyone.
Across Europe, the message from governments is the same. Please be careful over Christmas, so the new year can be a better one. Nadim, Al Jazeera, Brussels.